what's up you guys? It's Erin here and I met Dan and Phil. So I was gonna make a tatinof vlog, like a super big thing, and I had like a really good idea, but it kind of didn't work out because they didn't let me do a lot of filming inside the venue that I knew they wouldn't let me film like the show or anything inside the theater, but I didn't even get to vlog like me meeting them or like anything else. So the vlog kind of fell apart. I didn't really have any footage. I have some clips that I'm going to kind of insert. I'm just gonna make this kind of like a story time type vlog thing. So basically I woke up on Sunday morning and I was really sick, which sucked because I almost never get sick, and I just happened to get sick right before tatinof, which really sucked. But I took some cough medicine and some Advil and whatever else medicine, and I got in the car and I went to tatinof. Drove up to DC. I wanted to vlog in the car, but I didn't. Like, my parents were in the car and it was awkward, and I was like, I'm not gonna vlog. So I didn't vlog anything in the car. But I felt really sick and I was just kind of disgusting, so it wouldn't have really been very interesting. Anyway, we got to the venue, hundreds of people with cat whiskers on and Dan and Phil merch galore. It was the trashiest thing I've ever seen, but in the best possible way. Stood in line a little while for the VIP thing. And then they took us into this room. It wasn't even like a VIP lounge like it was at a lot of the venues. It was like we were standing on these stairs in this hallway and they were like, stand here and wait, Dan and Phil will come eventually. And then like they said hi to like the front of the line, but I was kind of in the middle, so they didn't really say hi to us, and it was kind of awkward. Like they had this sheet thing that had like the Amazing Tour was Not on Fire and like the sponsors from like Crunchyroll and stuff. And they were standing on the other side of the sheet, and so Phil's head was like sticking out every once in a while, and every time I saw it I was like, oh my god, he's like right there. But I didn't see Dan at all. I knew, and obviously like I knew Dan was like right next to him, but he just wasn't like peeking out from behind the curtain thing. So right before I got up behind it, I could hear Dan's voice, and I was like, he's so British, which was funny to the other people in line because they were like, obviously he's British, like, what are you on about? We went to this lady who is like their manager or something. I'm not really sure what her specific job was, but she was like making sure that you had like what you wanted them to sign and, you know, anything else just like in your hand. So I had the books that I wanted them to sign, and then I had the art that I wanted to give them and the letters that I wanted to give them. I had the art inside the page of the book that I wanted them to sign, so I wouldn't forget to give it to them. And then she took the book from me, and all of the art fell out, and it was really awkward. I had to lean down and pick it up, and Dan and Phil were like, what is happening? And I felt really, really weird, but I picked up my art and I picked up my letters and I got the book, and this security guard man who looks like Drake was standing right there, and I'd seen him in like the memes, but I saw him in real life and I thought it was really funny. He does look like Drake. He looks like a really big burly Drake, and it's funny. But he was like, okay, come on. And then so like I went around the sheet and Dan is right here, and I was like, oh my god. So I pulled out my phone, fumbled with it and hit record, and I think I'm like filming my feet like vertically, and it's just, I wanted some sort of footage of me meeting them since I couldn't have someone hold the camera for me. So I have this weird footage, which I'll insert in a second, of me walking up to them before I got them to take the selfie. So it's only like the first little part of the meetup before I ask him to take the selfie, because obviously he can't take the selfie if I'm videotaping.
Nice whiskers. Would you like us to sign this?
Yeah.
Of course we can.
There you go.
I have some art that my friends and I.
Oh really? Oh awesome. Oh, those are so cute. Oh awesome. Do you want us to keep these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, well, thank you. We'll put these somewhere safe.
And then when I was asking them for the pictures, I was like, can we take one where we're like smiling, and then one where we're like pulling like dirt faces like you did in Phil is Not on Fire 4, and then Dan laughed, bless. And then he was like, yeah, sure. So then you could tell that like Phil was kind of like, wait, are we taking the derp one or the normal one? And Dan was like, okay, smiles first, and then he does his like little peace sign like you saw in the picture. Because God, he's precious. And then he was like, okay, Phil, now we're gonna do the weird one. So I think it was really like cute that he was like making sure Phil knew what to do, and But anyway, Dan touched my phone and took the selfie because I was like, hey, you've got the selfie arm, so can you take it? And he was like, yeah. He took the picture, gave me my phone back, and I was like, hey, can I have one more hug? I'm sorry. And then he was like, yeah, absolutely. So then I was like in a sandwich hug, and it was the best. And then I left and I freaked out. And then they had this little guest book thing that they were letting everybody sign. So I signed that. And then I saw one of my friends, Tess from Playlist Live. She was in the Playlist Live vlog I made, because both things happened in DC, so you might see some of the same people. And I said hi to her, and then I walked off. And then there was just this period of time where I had finished the meetup, but it wasn't time for the show yet. So I went and got some merch, got my Dan and Phil jumper, and this flower crown. They had a VIP bag, which I have over there, just as the Amazing Tourist on a Fire on it. Then we just walked in, and I have some footage of me walking into the theater and footage of us singing the pre-show playlist, so I'll insert that here. Apologize for my crappy singing, but I was having a good time. So then after that, there was a show, which was fantastic. I'm not going to spoil anything. It was the best show I've ever seen live. There was just everything that is on their YouTube channels was brought to life in the most creative way I think I've ever seen. If you didn't go, you're missing out, because it's incredible. I've still no words for the show, and it's been weeks. I went home. And that was it. That was my tatinof experience. There's really nothing like interesting to say. I feel like there was other stuff that happened that I can't like think of right now. Sorry that this vlog is kind of broken. It's like story and then footage and then story and then footage, but I did the best that I could with this vlog. I really apologize that it wasn't the quality that I wanted it to be. If you enjoyed it anyway, please give it a thumbs up. Put a comment down below telling me if you went to tatinof or if you're going to tatinof and what you think of it. And if you didn't, well then just be like, I'm not going, and if you don't know who Dan and Phil are, that's unfortunate. If you want to see all of the other pictures and stuff that I took, you can follow me on my social media. Links will be in the description below. I love you guys so much. Subscribe and stuff, and peace out.